How did everybody, and welcome to watch me talk about the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu. In the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu, up to 4 people can play as a group of explorers boarding a galleon on an expedition to search for treasure from a cursed jungle. The basic gameplay loop is quite simple. The ship works as a starting Hyperia, where you and your crew get to choose your next mission. You are presented with few missions to choose from that are taking place on different maps, with varying difficulties based on different sets of starting equipment and different requirements to reach, usually certain quota of money. Think of games like Lethal Company. You can also upgrade the gear given to you or buy helpful items from the ship's shop, like for example items that can help you find treasure, a map for the whole area, or black oil that can be used to aggro enemies elsewhere. All of those are going to cost you your hard-earned tokens, so you need to be mindful what you spend them on. And once you are set, off you go to the land unknown. The map has a bunch of high-value idols and artifacts scattered across it. Your mission is to find enough of them to match your quota, and then bring the loot back to the ship. Sounds simple enough. But the map is not only rich with treasure. There's also enemies roaming the area. You need to fight them to clear your path forwards, but the more noise you make, the more unwanted attention you attract your way. Your arsenal consists of melee weapons like knives, spears and swords, and ranged weapons like bows, pistols and matchlocks. Melee weapons like bows make less noise, attracting less attention, where firearms deal big damage but are loud. There's a nice balancing act to when to use different weapons and what you even have on, since the set of equipment given to you and your crew at the start of the mission is not equal. There's a limited number of weapons given to you detailed in your mission, and your crew is going to end up being geared in very different ways. Where that comes in play is when you encounter enemies. Basic single enemies usually easy to take down, even with the weakest of weapons. Just sneak behind them and do a surprise attack that usually kills it. But don't get too focused on it, since there rarely is only one of them near you, and you can very easily be ganged up by rushing enemies. And if you don't manage to surprise them, the enemies can be tough to fight. Their movement can be clumsy and predictable, but every hit you take from them feels brutal, since your character can die very easily. And when you are suddenly dealing with multiple enemies, it can very quickly turn into chaos and panic. And when you panic, you make more noise, attracting more attention. There are also many enemies that can be taken down only with specific weapons, so with the limited gear, you might need some help. So don't be alone, work as a team. You all have each other's backs. That works too, but to be efficient at finding loot, you need to spread out. And you making noises is not the only thing attracting attention. The map is slowly awakening, putting out more enemies, so you need to be fast. And the map awakening is not your only worry. You are slowly losing your sanity too. Game slowly starts playing tricks on you, and your sanity starts slowly decreasing. And the more it decreases, the more you start to see of these tricks. The game may suddenly make your teammates turn invisible or into monsters, and you need to be careful not to hit them.
I'm not that. That's one. That's for me.
Oh, okay. Wait,
That's me.
If one of your teammates dies, their character becomes AI controlled and starts roaming the map, just trying to get close enough to you to make a surprise attack, when you don't realize they are not actually your teammate. So good communication with your team is key. The game may also make you unable to look at one of your teammates without taking damage, and if that is not enough, you may suddenly be teleported to the other side of the map, and suddenly you are in a rush trying to find your way back to your crew before the monsters get to you. You can start to see how the game intentionally tries to pull your crew apart and put you in unfavorable situations. These are just few examples. I don't want to spoil too many of them. Just know to question everything. I think they are in front of us. Hello, hello.
Oh, sorry.
That you?
Oh, yeah, are these you guys? Whoa.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Thanks.
And once you have collected enough treasure and hopefully not died along the way, you run back to your boat and exit the mission. If you met your quota, you are given a reward for your bravery in form of tokens and XP. With these tokens you are able to enhance your starting gear or to use the ship's shop. And I believe the more XP you have, the more missions you have to choose from. There's also story you are progressing. There are story related items that are hidden on some missions that you then need to extract to unlock new areas and to progress the story. But so far the story has been nothing to write home about. So that leads me to my thoughts on the game. I think that was basically the gameplay loop of the game. So yeah, now I can talk a little bit more about my thoughts. I have been playing on Series S. I tried it on my PC first, but it did not run great there. If you want to see my PC specs, I think they are in Lurkit. And then I have clocked a little less than 20 hours on the game. And how to start this? I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the game. The basic extraction gameplay loop of like gathering items to reach a quota is nothing new, but the gameplay mechanics surrounding it are interesting. First of all, I can't think of many similar first-person games with such fun melee range weapon system. I think maybe Sea of Thieves comes to mind. The combat itself can feel a little bit janky at times, but it makes it feel a little bit more challenging, which I like. And it's very melee focused, which I like too. And then there's decent enemy variety, and you can't fight them all the same way. Some of the enemies require range attacks to be taken down, some of are weak against light, and when the enemies die and fall on the ground, you have few seconds to hit them with a torch to stop the ground kind of sucking them back in, and then eventually respawning. There is a lot to think about, and you can very easily get caught off guard by a nearby enemy that you didn't notice while you are juggling items in your hands, hesitating to decide what is your next move. Do you want to burn the body? Maybe there's a teammate on the ground that you need to revive, or just to heal yourself. There's a lot of choices, and that's one of the aspects that I like about the game the most. It's that it's constantly forcing you to make meaningful choices. Whether it's you needing to deal with limited number of starting gear amongst your crew, or weighing your options whether you want to go take a tougher enemy with melee weapons. It will make less noise, but it's risking your health. Or maybe you try to shoot them down with a bow, but if you miss that shot, they are very fast to charge at you. Especially when in that moment you are caught switching back to your knife or something like that. It can spiral out of your hands really quickly. And your inventory space is also very limited. How much space do you want to save for the loot you are trying to gather is always away from the room you have for different weapons. And you need variety because you want to battle different type of enemies. Obviously you have your team, but the game is very good at pulling you away from your team. And in addition to that, the sanity system adds some fun trigger to the gameplay loop. Especially early on, you will be impressed by how the game tries to fool you. But the more you play, the more you start to get used to everything, and the sanity system loses a bit of its excitement. I don't know how much we have yet to see of the game, but so far I'm kind of a little bit left wanting more from the sanity system. I think there's way more tricks that you could be pulling to make me lose my sanity playing the game. Where the game could have also used a bit more creativity is its map environments. You are mostly traversing the same looking jungle over and over again. I think there's only one map that I have seen so far that is different from the jungle. And the jungle maps don't have anything that stands out from them. Like, it's okay for different maps to be located in a jungle setting, but have something that still differentiates them from each other. But at least there are enough different maps to explore. It feels like every time you start to get the hang of one map's layout, the game presents you with a new one. And so far the maps have been really well designed, with layouts that have a bunch of branching paths, and the maps just have a nice flow to them. And then we can move a little bit more to the frustrating part, the hate part about the love and hate relationship. Yeah. The most frustrating part so far has been the amount of crashes I have encountered along the way. I am playing on a console, it should be way easier to optimize this compared to a PC, but it seems to be the other way around. I don't have enough fingers and toes combined to count the number of crashes I have encountered. And my friends who are playing on PC, I don't think they have had any like complete crashes. But for example, there have been missions when we all have died, and the mission just keeps on going. It doesn't get us back on the boat, and in result of that we have needed to restart the lobby. There's also bugs like that. And that's not even the worst kind of bug. There has been an audio bug till month after the release, where one of my friends who is playing on the PC client of Xbox, they can only hear me, not the other two playing the Steam version. And the people playing the Steam version can't hear him, while I'm playing on the Series S and I can hear everybody just perfectly. It's a bit of a mess. But weirdly, despite the struggles, I was always excited to play the game. It is not an easy recommendation, but if you can stand some jankiness, and this sounded interesting at all, it's a very unique game, and there is fun to be had, especially if you have one friend group to play with.
I want a treasure. Did you get this one?
Oh, there's a monster here.
Nice.
Is that a monster?
Oh.
Is that you?
There's a monster!
What? It's me.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, Q. Not a monster.
Or a friendly monster?